इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में ये अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, ना नकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to our Business Opportunity Over Chai. This special edition Business Opportunity Over Chai will help you to understand the greatest business opportunity that Franchise India specially curated for you. This Business Opportunity Over Chai presented in management by team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Malia, Chairman of Franchise India Group, and Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, MD at Franchise India Brands Limited. Every day, 12 o'clock, we launch a new brand with different business opportunity. Today, we have bringing a great iconic brand, Karamchands Retails, a chain of family value retail stores dealing with men's, women's, and kids wear with the legacy of since 1987. Before we start to know about this brand, I would like to invite Mr. Bharat and Mr. Saras Gupta. He heads complete training and development of Franchise India. Saras, I would like to over to you the lights to you to get more about this brand so that we can help us to know. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ashika. And thank you, friends who have joined us. And what a lovely day today when we're going to talk about retail industry. We have seen that during Corona, or the retail industry was really not taking that shell, but especially after Corona, when we are building up, the retail industry is absolutely taking a great hype, and we call it a hockey stick growth. What they're taking, a great brand we talk about, a brand which has a legacy of, or they started probably in the year of 1987, a one-stop shop which would serve both men, women, and kids wear. Currently operating 8 retail stores is what they have created. So KC Retail has taken a pride of being one of the all-in-fashion store for the entire family. As I said, the legacy, started back in the year of 1987, and this is when they started their domestic wholesale business. And further, after understanding the complete business, they explored the industry and came to the journey of retail business in the year of 2019. And since then, they have operating 8+ stores in Delhi, NCR, UP, and many more in pipeline. Now, the brand offers exclusively merchandise and wide range of products from style, casual, formal, ethnic wear to footwear and other fashion accessories, not only giving one stream of investment or revenue, but for all men, women, and children. So, friends, today we have the second generation person of this brand, Mr. Bharat. Mr. Bharat, a very warm welcome to this business opportunity over chai. And we are so happy that you took out your time and here to present the business opportunity, because there are a lot of people in the retail industry who want to start their own business, but again, they do not get a lot of conviction that which brand to start with. So, Mr. Bharat, I would hand over the spotlight, probably turn the stage to you, and please help us understand the business opportunity that we have with your brand. But before we do that, tell us about a journey first, and then we come to the formal presentation. Over to you, Mr. Bharat.
Thank you, Sarojji. That was a great introduction, I must say. Actually, we started, I mean, I'll just start with about the background from where I come. We are a joint family, and my father and my uncle, they started the business in 1987. So they started with buying surplus articles from Ludhiana, and they sold it in Delhi. So at that then on time, it was a great market. Later on, with time, we expanded, the product range exceeded, and by 1992, when the Soviet Union, the SARC was divided into different CIS countries, we entered the export market. And by 1999, I would say we were nearly about having a turnover of around 80 to 90 crores only in the exports. So that was a great period for us. But however, and later on, we realized that it's not just about the product, we need to have a brand with us. So we got our brands registered in 2001 and 2002. And we came up with a different set of brands. Like we have a brand by the name Vincent that ensures like it caters the customers which are looking for good products and trending styles. And then we came up with another brand, B Club, which is a brand which focuses on good articles, but taking care of the best prices possible. Like sometimes we compromise in the trend or maybe the quality to come up with a better pricing range. So we have around 7 to 9 brands with us. All the brands cater the different segments. And in 2015, I personally entered the business, our family business. And once I entered in 2017, we came up with the idea that we were already supplying to DMart, Vishal Mega Mart, V Mart, V2, almost all the North Indian value chains. So since we were supplying to them, we thought like we can also come up with our own retail stores. So since I was new to the business and I had the space to come up and take up the recent initiatives, and also I was frank enough with the technology. So we started our chain of retail stores in 2019. And I will be very proud to say that we sell articles starting from a price range of 99 rupees to up to 4,500 rupees. Like buying a t-shirt in today's time and the expenses that people face today. We are selling articles at just a starting price of 99 rupees. You can buy a t-shirt from us with sizes, not like it's just a free size and you have any compulsion. And even those t-shirts are durable enough that they last nearly 6 to 8 months for a person. And we prefer to reach the masses of India. Like there are a lot of technologies. When I talk about antimicrobial fabrics, we can talk about phthalate fabrics, Nike, Adidas, Puma. They are providing these articles in the market, but the price range that they cater is nearly 2,000 to 2,500 is just the starting price of those garments. And we are proudly selling those articles at just a price range of 500 to 700. And since once we came in touch with Franchise India, we thought that it will be better to serve the nation if we can have multiple stores and the majority of our population can have access to those technology and those good articles at a good prices without paying a hefty premium just for the brand name. So and I believe we can start with
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes, you can build up the presentation now. So friends, I think that's we really get a lot of conviction from Mr. Bharat. India has become a really price sensitive market. And Mr. Bharat and the brand is absolutely offering, articles starting at 99 rupees each, which means they serve the mass. And probably you will now study the business model where we'll talk about how much investment is required, what is the ROI. So yes, we can start. It's full screen. We can see it now. So please go ahead.
So basically, in the presentation also, you can understand our mission. Mission is to become a multi-brand outlet where we can experience the minds of India and shop the current trend at the best possible prices. This basically means that there are a lot of brands, domestic brands in India, who are doing pretty well and focusing on the recent trends. And what we do, we club up those brands, we bring those articles under one roof, and the people can have access to the variety. Like a person who enters KC retail, he can get a little taste of Ludhiana, a little taste of Gujarat and Tamil Nadu and Kolkata under one roof. So there is, I mean, this also helps us achieve a great conversion rate at our stores. Our vision is to reach the middle and lower price focused households who have not experienced the latest fashion. With the upcoming digitalization, I would say YouTube and Instagram, they have taught people to, what is the latest going on trend. But the only challenge they face is that those trends are not available at affordable prices for them. We have a lot of population who have a family household income of just 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees. And when I say a household income, that means all the members of the family are working, and the sum of everything that they can earn is just 50,000 to a lakh rupees. So we are basically trying to serve those population which cover like the huge masses. That is the biggest chunk of our nation. And this is basically a basic idea. Like we are making fashion affordable. It is also a tagline. At KC, we have a lot of product range, like starting from a basic garment or innerwear, I would say, and we go up to a garment like for ethnic wear. Like if a groom is getting married, he can buy articles from us. But yes, when I say a groom, there are a number of times when there are few people who go for shopping for the experience. So we focus on that experience as well, so that when a person comes, he's treated properly, irrespective of the fact that which class does he belong to. So that is a huge difference, which ensures a retention buying and a reputation buying at our stores. This is just about the management. Like me and Kajal Khanna, she's my wife. She has an experience in Zara. She worked with Zara as a store manager for around 2 to 3 years. Currently, we have 7 stores. One is in Ghaziabad, Lal Kuan. The second is in Muzaffarnagar. The third is in Khansa Road, Gurugram. It's near DAV school. And the fourth one, Turabnagar. This is also in Ghaziabad. It is one of the biggest market in Ghaziabad when I say. In Noida, Sector 63. We have one in Kanpur, Delhi. One in New Ashok Nagar, Delhi. These all stores have an approximate size of 5,000 square feet. Initially, I mean, we have a store as big as 7,000 square feet and as small as 4,200 square feet. In Noida, Sector 63, this is our headquarters where we have a warehouse from where all the products are segregated, allocated, and then transferred to the respective stores. So when I talk about the fashion and accessories that we offer, if we talk about the major divisions, men, women, kids. In kids, we cater all boys, girls, and infants. You can also find articles like car seats and chairs or basic gifting articles for infants, where we have 11-piece set, 9-piece set. Generally, that is a very high, it has a very high churning ratio. The only reason when an infant is born, majority of the population, the first gift that they can think of is to buy a, let's buy a clothes for them or buy a set for them, which is like very useful. And the only thing is that they have a very small lifespan for a person. Like the garment is good, but the kid, they grow up very fast, I must say. In men, we cater blazers, denims, jackets, trousers, vests, shirts, t-shirts, shorts. I mean, if you come up with a clothing article, you just name it and we'll surely have it. And when a person comes, he can find at least 200 to 300 options for just t-shirts alone. Similarly, when a person comes to buy a shirt, he can have at least 200 to 300 options of shirts. If I talk about the retail industry market in India, it's currently valued at 65.2 lakh crores. And apparels, I must confidently say, it is the third largest segment in the retail industry. It has currently it occupies 7.9% share of the market, which is a huge figure if we consider the 65.2 lakh crores. This is basically the growth span. If I talk about the online market, yes, in the past few years, the online market has grown at a higher rate when compared to offline. But there's one thing that needs to be understood. The online market held a space this small when it talk about the fashion industry in India, whereas the offline had the majority space. But the best part to learn about is that the online has seen a growth of 90% nearly. At the same time, the offline has also grown up to 50%, which means that the offline trade is not deteriorating, it is also increasing. You can just say even a 50% add-on for a figure like 1000 means 1500, but a 90% growth rate for a figure like 500 is still 900 rupees. So you can understand that it's not just the growth rate, but also the size. After you reach a certain size, the growth rate depletes. So that's the only reason the offline market might have seen a slower growth rate compared to online. But the market is booming, and we can surely say that, I mean, even if I talk about myself, when we started the retail stores on 15 July 2019, the first summer season we faced a COVID lockdown. In the second season also we faced a COVID lockdown. In the third season, we were actually able to entertain the customers, even considering these drawbacks. I mean, we overcame those obstacles, and today we are a profitable company, which I feel is more than enough to come up to the financials, like whether you'll be able to earn from the segment or not. So why should you partner with us? I would say the major reason would be that if somebody comes up with an idea to open a retail store, if he wants to enter the fashion market of India, the biggest challenge that a person faces is that the trends are changing every day. And when I talk about purchasing articles, even if you come up with 10 options of an article, when a customer sees them, there are so many options and the people have so many preferences, he'll still come up with a simple answer. Instead of saying he doesn't want to buy, he'll say, I don't like the design. So basically, when you partner with us, you'll be able to have access to nearly, I mean, almost all the articles that you can imagine. We are already manufacturing so many things. We are specialized enough that we buy raw threads or cotton from the mills, and then we process it and we are selling the ready-made garment. So it's like when I talk about pricing, since we are buying thread and then giving up a garment, there are a lot of margins in between which get consumed up because of our huge process. And it's very comfortable for us. Like even if a person wants to compete with us, that other person, it's a huge investment for anybody to come up with an idea where he can buy a thread and just sell the garments. So that much investment is not practical in today's scenario. We reached such a state just because of time. We started in 87, and with years we were able to grow ourselves and have our roots, penetrated deep in the industry. So basically what you get is a good purchase team and experience in marketing. So if I go by point, it'll be a one-stop destination for you if you want to buy, I mean, for any clothing or home needs. At the same time, we'll be able to provide you the best articles, knowing that we specialize in almost all the divisions. So we can we are a technology-driven organization. And at the same time, we have policies for the customers that are already drafted based on our experience of 30 years, which is something you cannot learn even any college or university, or you don't have a book for saying. And it's a very investable model, seeing that if we can do it in 3 years, I believe anybody can do it, considering that further we are not going to face any more lockdowns. We are a proud Indian brand since we already have a domestic and international reach. And today we are successfully operating 7 retail stores. The first one was opened in July 2019. And this is the current approach that we are having. Our plan is to expand pan India. Our first target would be to take care of the northern region, where we have cities, the Delhi NCR region, Chandigarh, Ludhiana, Amritsar, Dehradun, Lucknow, Sonipat. Mainly, I would say, considering my 7 stores and the reach we are already having, I would say we have a similar customer base with us. So they'll be the easiest way to increase ourselves. And as soon as we grow further, we'll be entering the western, southern, and eastern markets of India. Now, if I talk about what kind of partners we are looking for, we are looking for people either who have a good financial bandwidth, because it's a offline fashion store of nearly 4,000 square feet, then you can understand it's going to need a huge chunk of investment. And it'll be very helpful if a person is already from the apparel background, or we can look up for persons or like real estate owners who already have an existing portfolio and they have a basic idea of running any retail business. So if they get an idea of how a retail business is run, we can come up with proper channels and trainings where they can be taught and the team can be made good enough to entertain the customers. Or we can look up for independent businesses, because in today's scenario, everybody is already facing a challenge that they are not able to give proper time either to purchasing or sales. So if a good business is taking care of a person who can take care of his business, will take care of all the back-end processes for him. The next is we are basically focusing on a FOFO model. It simply means franchise owned and franchise operated. The only reason we are taking care of, we are going for the franchise model is this is a model where the franchise owner has complete access to the store, and he's also given a complete authority and he has a complete ownership over the work that is being done at the franchise. So basically, when I talk about this ownership, it comes at a cost. And the things that he enjoys are like he has complete ownership. He'll be taking care of the operations. The investments are by him. We'll be giving proper brand guidelines to the person so he can ensure a good and ethical output from the franchise. And the numbers we are getting, he's also able to come up with those numbers. The expenses will be in his control. That also gives him a benefit, like if a person, he already has a good team, or like every location has different expenses. When we talk about franchise, we take an average expense. So a person belonging to different areas, he can hire, a lot of expenses can be decreased by him if he can get those things done at a cheaper price. So they get a fixed commission against the sales. The process by which we'll work, he'll be already having access to the commission pre-hand. So when I talk about the roles and responsibilities, the franchisee, he'll be taking care of all the day-to-day operations. The only thing he has to ensure is that all the SOP guidelines are being followed, and he ensures that the employees are motivated. We basically came up with an idea of providing good incentives as a part of the salary, in which if we want to hire a person for, let's say, 15,000, we give him a fixed salary of 10 to 11,000 and the rest is variable. That way a person is always motivated and running towards achieving better goals. And even if a person earns a little more than 15, if he goes up to 16, 17, the only reason would be he's giving you extra sales.
I'm sorry, friends. I think Mr. Bharat got disconnected. So let's take it further. So as I'm sure Mr. Bharat is just joining back in a while. And friends, we can you please use the Q&A box, which is just down, to post any question. I see one of the question already coming up with from Ms. Sarita. Amravati in Maharashtra has a huge marketplace for apparels, and here there are three, four huge wholesale and retail hubs for apparels. Are you ready for this market as the investor already has a big shop available in this hub and has same background? Absolutely, yes, Sarita ji. I think a perfect match I'm looking for. So yes, we can absolutely have a one-on-one conversation, look at the place, what location he's looking for, and maybe on the slides we were talking about, he's also open for master franchise. So if he has a bigger place, it's a hub. So why not an option of even of a master franchise? I'm posting the numbers on the chat box continuously. So feel free to get in touch with us. Rather, after this call, our key account managers, our do your own business specialists would also be more than happy to talk about the same. So, friends who have joined us, just for the information, Franchise India has been in the legacy for almost 25 years now. And we are the only people who are helping investors like you pick up the right business. Because business picking up is absolutely a process. And a lot of times when we ask people, they say, which business do you want to go? They want to name it a triple F, and we call it friends, family. So anybody who's, which business do you want to go? They say friend. Uh, so I am also hearing a question unable to see the chat box. Yes, I can announce it. The hotline numbers we can be reached, especially also for the people watching us on YouTube and Facebook. The hotline numbers are 97176 83838. I repeat, 97176 83838. And we can also be reached on our email address, which is feedback at franchiseindia.in. Feedback at franchiseindia.in. So coming back, what I was saying was, picking up the business process, the complete process, or we were talking about triple F, friends, family, and probably land up being a fool because every business is not for everyone. Franchise India has been an integrator. We first evaluate you. What experience are you coming from? What is your interest? What are the industry trends talking about of a particular business is what we evaluate. We understand which industry should be the best industry for you. And then of course the business is also a time process, because the definitions of ROI has also changed with the evolution time. So now when we say ROI, we say return on investment, a traditional answer that we get, but now it is ROI, return on involvement, which means the more you're involved, the more money you can make. And of course, the third one is return on intelligence. So somebody has created a legacy, like we're talking about this brand today, and then we take it over as a return on intelligence where they have given you a complete support system. So ROI, so business depending on ROI, क्योंकि business वही जो दे ROI सही, what business you should enter is what we evaluate. What are the margins coming in? What is the comparison? Probably we help you make an apple to apple comparison whenever you go to do a business. So probably we'll start with 10. The first is evaluation. The second is we provide the information. Under information, we give you a lot of brands and knowledge information. And the third becomes is a selection. Selection would be comparing apple to apple, the legacy they have, the support system they have, the money involved, the economics, the unit franchise or the unit economics that we will understand and probably help you further sign a letter of intent, which is absolutely there. So friends, please keep posting your questions, and during this course of action, we'll be more than happy to take all of them. So yes, friends, we are now taking up a lot of questions I see on the chat box. What is a FOFO model? So friends, there are different models when we talk about franchising. One is a FOFO model. People who don't know, it's franchisee owned, franchisee operated. And the other one is FOCO model, franchisee owned, company operated. Are those models where you would make the investment and all the operations will be done by the brand itself. So when we say operations, the salaries, the rent of the place, the stock would be all done by the brand itself. I see one more question coming up. What about the HR? Well, yes, that's a very valid question because a lot of I would rather say doing this evaluation, 40% of the people who start their own business are the first timers, and they have never done a business in their life. Probably it's an aspiration for everyone to start their own business, but somebody needs help. And there are a lot of people in market who are talking about, grow your business, but there's nobody talking about start your own business. And this is where Franchise India would take the front seat and help you pick up the right business. Mr. Ramesh is asking, are uh, the reasons for because there are a lot of brands running around. Absolutely, Mr. Ramesh. Absolutely, you're absolutely correct on that part. When I hear your question, there's always a situation about risk. Fashion is one industry which is always changing overnight. So once Mr. Bharat is back, I'm absolutely putting this question: what about the stock correction? How would you ensure that the brand is taking care of the stock correction? One more question I see about the HR. So yes, how many HRs will be involved? So this is what Mr. Bharat will be talking next, where he'll be explaining about the operational expenses involved in the business. How many franchise models we have in this brand? Well, Mr. Shakti, as of now, we heard that we are only offering FOFO model, franchisee-owned, franchisee-operated model. However, if we have a very strategic location, I'm sure Mr. Bharat would be glad to look into that option. So we can take this one-on-one depending on the location that you have, and we can be reached directly on a numbers, the hotline numbers 97176 83838. I see Mr. Bharat has joined back. So Mr. Bharat, am I audible to you?
Yeah, you're perfectly audible.
Perfect. Great. We lost in between, and now we are probably waiting for the financials to be discussed. You want to bring up the slide back again?
Yeah, Harshika ji, can you please share the presentation? There's some technical error in my system, I think.
Sure, Bharatji. Allow me 1 minute, please.
Yeah.
So Bharji, while Bharchika is bringing up the presentation, a quick question that just came up. Are we also open for FOCO model if it's a strategic location? Can we take one-on-one cases on that, Bharji?
Yeah, if it's a good location, we can surely cater such proposals, I believe. The only thing is we'll have to come up with the clarities on a few gaps. Like it's not just about the investment, but also the ownership that the franchise owner gets in the FOFO model. So, I mean, we can come up with a solution regarding it.
Sounds good. Yes, we can see the presentation now, and we can go ahead, Mr. Bharat.
Yeah, so I was suggesting like if a person partners with us, he'll have access to a lot of benefits. Like we'll be taking care of all the purchases for the person, and he can further screen those articles from his own perspective, like from the experience he's getting at the outlet that he owns. And at the same time, we'll be doing proper SEO for the person, and he'll get a technology driven solution like where we have our own knowledge website, like from where he can have access to all the SOPs and the training material with just the click of a hand. And at the same time, we have from like a 30 years experience in terms of the customer policies and what a person expects from the outlet and the brand. So we'll be giving him access to those ideas, which I believe no other book can, give any written draft certainty like how things work. And at the same time, it's a highly investable model with a good ROI. Considering we have already achieved a good ROI in the last 3 years, if we were able to be profitable, considering the COVID obstacle, I believe it'll be a good enough example for any person who's interested in the franchise. Uh, can we move on to the next slide, please? Yeah, this is basically the areas we are focusing. At first, we'll be focusing on the northern region, where I mean, we already have 7 stores near the Delhi NCR region. Hence, our first preference would be northern India. And specifically, if I talk about UP, that is a very good market for us, considering there is a majority of population whose household income is less than nearly 50,000 rupees a month, and they are the regions who, they specifically fit in all the criterias of the articles we deal in. Then we'll move on to the Western India, Southern India, and Eastern India. Harshika ji, please. Yeah. So when I say why should a person partner with us, like we'll be looking for partners who have a good experience in the retail industry, and they might be already running a few retail stores, might be groceries or jewelry or any other business. But if they have a good retail experience, we'll be surely interested with them. This way, they can increase their portfolio, and they'll be able to enter a need-based market. I mean, when I talk about the markets of India, it's just roti kapda makan. At first, every person looks for fooding and necessities, that is foods and grocery. The second best market is the clothing market, where, and when I talk about the prices that we offer, so we are like we serve one of the biggest necessity of a country. And next, if I talk about, we'll be looking for investors who have a good financial backup with them, because a clothing store of nearly 4,000 square feet takes up a huge chunk of the investment that we talk about. And if the person has an experience in the apparel industry, that'll be very great for us, because that way the training will be done even sooner, and you might be able to attain results like in a lesser time span as well. And thirdly, we'll be looking for independent businesses. Today, seeing the challenges a person face in India, there are a lot of gaps. When I say, if you have to cater the purchases, at the same time, you have to take care of the sales part. So by partnering with us, he'll be able to have access to almost majority of the brands and catering in the different departments of the clothing market. So we'll be taking care of all the back-end processes and giving him proper support so he can focus all his time in the sales. Next slide, please, Harshika ji. Yeah. So when I talk about the FOFO model, so there are two separate options that we're looking for. A person can join us just as a unit franchise or a multi-unit franchise. In multi-unit franchise, he'll be having multiple stores that'll be directly owned by the person. And just like the query we just had, the only reason we personally prefer FOFO model as well is because when a person is putting in a lot of investment, with such a huge investment, a person should have, I mean, he should have complete ownership of the store. At the same time, the operations will be done by him. That ensures that there is complete transparency in our two businesses. So when we say we are providing something, whatever expenses are coming up, he's the first person to get access and understand why exactly these things come up and how exactly he's tackling them. So we'll be giving proper brand guidelines that can be maintained by the franchise. And then the expenses are done by him. So again, there's complete transparency in same. And what the person gets, he'll be given a fixed commission ranging from 21 to 27%, depending on the prices of articles. And lastly, what we'll be just getting the price of the product from the person. Can we move on to the next slide, please? So when I talk about the franchise and the brand, in this, the franchise will be the responsibilities that a franchise will take care of are he'll be running the day-to-day operations. He'll adhere to the SOPs and the guidelines given by us. He has to ensure that the employees are kept motivated We'll surely be providing options like we already have existing incentive plans and schemes by which the person is able to, keep the employees motivated in terms of the financial aspect. Like when a person is appointed at a salary of say 15,000, what we do, we keep the fixed part nearly 10 to 11,000, and the rest is variable based on the incentives. This way, we have multiple schemes of such a manner. In this way, even if a person earns higher than his salary, he is able to, provide you with better sales. So we'll be giving you access to those informations and structures, how exactly every profile in a store can be linked to the sales. The franchise has to make sure that those all the processes are implemented properly, and that the local marketing guidelines that we suggest or we help out with the new marketing mix, they ensure that local implementation is done. They have to maintain proper accounts and records, and a complete inventory management will be there. We'll be providing the ERP software. However, the franchise has to make sure that the physical and the ERP things match together. Next, the person has to make sure that good customer relations are there. When we talk about the brand, they have to help. We'll be there to help out the person in terms of the site selection, the licenses or permissions required to run out the business. However, the franchise will have complete control over the fact like where the person needs to invest or what all changes are required. We'll be offering proper research and development support to the franchise. We'll also conduct marketing activities at a central level in which the franchise store will also be a part of our marketing mix and our communications of different mediums. We'll also be setting up your Google shop, and we'll be making sure that the outlet is listed on the Google Maps. This way, the store becomes accessible and it becomes very easier for any person to find you, even wherever your location is. Can we move on to the next slide, please? Yeah. When I talk about the pre-opening and post-opening guidelines, the support that we'll be providing you is like pre-opening, we'll be helping you in the development of the store, like what kind of site should be selected, how exactly the facility should be made, what marketing and promotional activities can be done to make sure that the day you open, at least people in a 1 or 2 kilometer radius are aware, okay, this day a new store is opening up and they'll be coming up for the event visit. There'll be proper training for your team. We'll make sure that a person is dedicatedly deployed for your support for the initial 1 month period, where the franchise will be able to get access to, the team will have proper product training, how exactly they have to interact with customers, how exactly the business should be developed in the next few months. So, it's not like we'll be coming up with a store where you have to wait for 1 or 2 years just to get the returns. We'll be there to support you and provide you with proper support. So at least the daily operational expenses can be incurred in the initial period as well. Very comfortably. However, it will take a little time when we talk about the complete break even. The operational support that we'll provide is there'll be a proper software and accounting support for you, where we'll be giving you proper suggestions. And there's a operational manual. You'll be given a offline operational manual. At the same time, you'll be given a online operational manual. Next, post-opening, there is proper product planning done at our end. We'll ensure that you are also a part of it. And based on your feedback, whatever products you are getting, we'll ensure that the respective changes are done in that. There is a percentage of stock in which we'll be there to support you with shuffling. Like if an article is not selling well at your outlet and another outlet is selling that article at a greater speed, so we'll be shifting those articles to the other store and vice versa. And when it comes to marketing, we'll have proper awareness campaigns and social media presence is there. We'll conduct events and sponsorship programs. For that, we can have a discussion. Like once you come up with a store, we'll give you different suggestions and how exactly different marketings can be done. Can you change the slide, Harshika ji, please? So these are the key parameters. Like if I talk about the area required, the minimum area required would be 4,000 square feet because we have nearly 15,000 diversity of SKUs at our stores. So I believe 4,000 is like the minimum space required to at least display them. And then the total investment would take nearly 38 to 40 lakh rupees. We have considered almost all the factors. And then the franchise fees would be just 8 lakh. The security deposit against stock will be 10 lakh rupees. This security deposit will make sure that considering that it's filled from time to time, any requirements that you come up with, we'll not have to wait for like the financials or just to send you the articles. There won't be long discussions. You'll be able to have access to articles as soon as possible. And there'll be a gross margin of 21 to 27%. The difference, I mean, mostly it will be 27%. It's just the articles below a sale MRP of 400 rupees. The gross margin will be less in those articles. The average ROI is 100% and the payback period is nearly 24 to 26 months. We'll be entering an agreement of 5 years. Can we please change the slide? Harshika ji, can you please change the slide? So that's it. I mean, I'm up for all the questions and queries any of the investors might have.
Thank you, Mr. Bharat, and congratulations for a wonderful presentation. Although we got interrupted in between, but we caused up very well. So,
Thank
Bharatji,
you.
we have a lot of questions that I can really see. In fact, some questions from my end also.
For sure.
Mr. Shakti is asking how many franchise models do we have for this brand? So I think Shakti, we already answered that question. We are primarily looking for FOFO model, but if the place is really strategic, we might go for FOCO as well. So let's get in touch on one-on-one basis. And I have one more question. As my location is very community based, what marketing strategy is your company planned for it? So I'm sure, Mr. Bharat, when you're looking up a location, there are certain aspects that you consider. So can you give us some more information that how the first, on what basis criteria you pick up the location, and secondly, what is your marketing plan? How do you do community-based marketing plan, or maybe the SKUs even lying at the place?
So basically, when we say like when a site selection is done, we have to take care of things like what is the footfall of that area. We have to take care of the visibility. The visibility should be good enough, and we need to make sure that the area, I mean, should have a ground floor with it. I'm not saying the whole area should be on a ground floor. We can have a ground floor plus first floor, ground floor, or with basement, or the mainly it should be on the ground level. The only reason is there is a majority of population when people come in. If the ground floor is visible, when they get an idea, like from the outside, if they're able to see inside the store, and they're, I mean, seeing the variety of SKUs and the different walls put up within the store, majority of the people they enter it. So that is like to increase the walk-in of customers. And nextly, if I talk about, there are factors like how far is the market from the store. We prefer stores should be near, I mean, it should be at the starting of a market, within a market, or outside. All three are preferred. However, we have to consider expenses and marketing activities based on the location. So if a store, if we, I mean, we have a store in all the three areas, all three have a different marketing mix. For a store within a market, like a good market, we have to focus on the activities being done just outside the store. Things like we place a person wearing a mascot of any cartoon, like you say Chota Bheem or Mickey Mouse or Minnie. So that way, children get attracted and people, we are able to gather a look of people, like we are able to catch their eyes. So in markets, we have to focus on getting the customer just outside our store. when I say if we have a store in a market starting or at the end of a market, so what we have to ensure that the customer who are there, we focus on, like we come up with we place big banners which say like what is our starting price range. We are starting at 99, and at the same time the different departments that we are offering, because whenever a person visits a market, he is generally with a family or a colleague, or they have a partner with them. And when they see, okay, by entering the store we'll be able to satisfy both our needs, or the complete needs of the family will be satisfied. And at the same time a good scheme is being displayed, like they'll have uh, I mean, if they shop for 5,000 rupees, they'll get a discount of 500 rupees, or they'll get a gift along with it. So every month we come up with different schemes. So with those schemes, people get attracted and we convert them into a proper sale. And thirdly, if I talk about a store that is outside a market, like at least I would say 500 meters to a kilometer away from a market. In that scenario, we do different activities like door-to-door marketing. We do a whole activity. We do a e-rickshaw activity. So what are these activities? We basically, depending on the month and the festive that we have in the month. I mean, this is a blessing for Indians. We have festivals around the year. So based on that, recently it was a Bisakhi. So we did a dhol activity where we hired a person, a dhol wala, and he visited the societies near our store, like all the small village area or colonies and societies where we did the person went and he was supposed to play dhol, and all the persons who came to see that, who were enjoying there, we handed over them different shopping vouchers and pamphlets. So with this activity, we generally get a good footfall in next 2 to 3 days. And it has a life of 14 days. Like if we do activity today, for next 14 days, we'll be getting a good output. After that, we have to come up with something new. So every month we conduct different activities. And lastly, there's a e-rickshaw activity where we hire a e-rickshaw and we place a portable speaker on it along with pamphlets. And we have a proper paging of what the scheme is going on. So that e-rickshaw visits the whole area, the residents nearby, and the people get aware, okay, something has opened near us. Now, all these activities and everything depends on the target customer. We are suggesting the location of the store. For example, our Dhol activity is very much successful at our Lalpua store, but the same activity is not successful enough at our Kanpur store. So it's all a part of like site selection. After site selection, the marketing mix is made based on what kind of site we are going for. I believe it answers the
Yes,
question. If
yes,
there's
yes. To a lot of extent, absolutely, sir. And friends, please keep on posting your questions here, and I'm just taking that up. Well, Mr. Bharat, the biggest threat when we talk about retail industry and a fashion industry is fashion changes overnight. How do we hedge that risk? Is there
uh,
a stock correction happening at a store level?
yes, stock correction is there. Basically, we provide a huge percentage of stock correction in the initial period of 30 days, but with time we decrease that percentage. The only reason is because I mean, it's not an option where a franchise owned store is given complete, I mean, freedom to like which product he may buy or he may not buy. Now, based on that, for the initial 30 days, based on the response, he can request us to get those stock rectified. But after a span of 60 days, I believe it becomes difficult for us also to, direct it to other stores and sell it. So stock correction is there, but it's a percentage, like not 100%. Sarasji, your audio
I'm
is
sorry.
disturbed.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
My question is the last question probably coming up. What kind of measures do you take to fulfill the stock? So, of course, within 1 or 2 months, you will need some kind of support, or the franchisee would actually need some kind of support. That what items to be ordered? And how it is the replenishment of the order fulfillment is done at a
See,
store level?
basically,
Mhm.
what we focus on is in today's world, people are looking for new options every day. Shopping is not need based. I mean, majority of the people are buying because they either they enjoy buying or they, every day people want new variety. So when I talk about replenishment, how exactly we work, we basically send a proper set to a store. So our product range is divided into two parts. There is like half of the store will be of regular articles. Regular articles like there are basic t-shirts, but there are basic kurtis. In women, there are basic leggings. We have basic denims, jeggings. These are the articles which are freezed. Like from last 10 years, they are the same articles. It's just about the fitting. So that much portion is replenished on a weekly to 15 days basis, which purely depends on the travel time it takes for the product to reach the store. At a warehouse, we have these stocks available with us around the year, and the rest of the store has non-regular articles. Articles like if I talk about printed T-shirt is, I mean, it sells for 12 months, but the print they have to be changed every, I mean, they should be changed every week, in fact. So for those articles, when we send it to a store, we send a set where the person gets 10 to 15 colors with 5 different prints. And once that article reaches the store, if that product is sold, he can send us a requirement for the print T-shirt. We'll be sending new prints this time. So that same print does not reach the store again and again. So these are two articles. They both have a different replenish process. However, the duration for that replenishment is same as 15 days.
Okay. Okay. Great. So thank you, Mr. Bharat, for a lovely session and helping us explore a great business opportunity which is available. I see still a lot of questions coming up, a lot of hands being raised. So, friends, in favor of time, I would really request you to please get in touch with us. I'm continuously posting the numbers. And in fact, all people who have joined us today, our team members at Do Your Own Business Specialists will be reaching you personally, asking you more details and your interest and any questions that you have. We would be more than happy to make you meet Mr. Bharat, probably starting with a virtual call if a location is a problem or not from the same location. And then we can help you meet Mr. Bharat, shake hands, and even explore the current outlets, what is running, because jo dikhta hai, wahi bikta hai. You would like to explore how the current business is going. You would also like to explore, the business opportunity, how the current outlets performing. Want to see that, we can absolutely connect with Mr. Bharat and help you get one-on-one. So, friends, thank you very much for joining this session. And in the end, I will again ask Harshika for her ending note, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarasur. Thank you, Bharatji, for explaining us about this wonderful opportunity, Karamchand Retail. So, friends, if you would like to invest in this business and if you would like to take a franchisee of this business, please reach us to our hotline number 9717683838, or you can write us on feedback@franchiseindia.in. You can also connect with their LinkedIn IDs of Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am. Refer to this line. Thank you, everyone, for joining.